currently on the way to go pick up my new, well, new to me bike. And from the title and thumbnail you can probably tell I bought a GS. I bought a 2014 GS 1200 TE. Well, compared to your bike, yeah.
You're gonna miss it?
A little bit. Oh, it's so fucking cool. Oh, this is crazy. Beautiful over here. Oh yeah, I'm almost there, so I'll talk about the bike. I'm in love. Like, I've had 2 Harleys before this, and I had a Honda Shadow before that, and an MT-07 before that, sorry. And this is for owning. Like, I've never ridden so much in the first week of owning a motorcycle. The previous motorcycles, I think they were all just, I like the idea of owning them. The Fat Bob, maybe, the Harley Davidson Fat Bob I had, that was actually quite nice to ride, to be fair. I could ride that quite a long way. But this bike, I've done like 300 miles in this week, and I work this week too. So I've done 300 miles, and I work from home. So I've done 300 miles working from home. I took Wednesday off. I rode down to the beach, had an ice cream. The riding is just, oh, I look forward to riding again. And I enjoyed riding the Harley, don't get me wrong. It was nice to ride, but there's something about it I just didn't, it was so loud, which was fun, don't get me wrong. It was so loud, and it wasn't the most comfortable. I know I could have changed that, but I would have had to spend so much money on like a bar setup or something just to make it comfortable for me. And I was like, I'd rather it just be comfortable from the factory. So I didn't gel with it. And then when I rode the 1250 in December, that video did really well. I fell in love with the GS, just the way it felt. It was so easy to ride, and it just seemed, it was playful, especially that one. And it didn't complain about anything. If I wanted to cruise, it was awesome to cruise. If I wanted to go a bit heavier on the twisties, it was perfectly content to do that. And I just thought, what the hell? And the Harley was heavy. It was my Harley was 310 kilos, and it had a long wheelbase, so flicking in corners and stuff, it just wasn't as fun as like this, or even the MT10 that I rode. This has just been hilarious to ride. I'm gonna need to concentrate here, I think. Nah, I'm not gonna do any filtering. I'm just gonna. I don't know this area. I've never been here. This actually reminds me of Cape Town. Cape Town, there's a lot of buildings like that one. I'll just not go through a red light. I'm so confused. What the hell is this, like, road system? Oh, I need to be in the right lane, don't I? Sorry. Yeah. Oh, but everyone goes that way. What the hell? Oh, this is so confusing. What's the speed limit? 30. Okay, makes sense. This is confusing to drive in. It does remind me of Cape Town, though. We're going straight on. Straight on. This place is confusing. This place is confusing. This place is confusing. My seat is really tall. Jesus. And I normally don't like having my phone in portrait mode for navigation because it makes the nav like really small. Like, I don't. Why is it on the right side of the screen? Just make it in the middle, bruh. Anyway, I think it's probably quite straightforward from here. Cruise control on, so I don't speed. Yeah, so just riding this bike, I love it. There's nothing I dislike about it. The only thing I don't like, compared to the 1250, obviously, is your low end is not as smooth. It's quite jiggity. It's a little bit more ruspy, a little bit more characterful, which is fine. But the bike it's much older than the 1250, and the 1250 has that shift cam. So the 1250 is nice and smooth. But I just couldn't afford the 1250. I was thinking about going PCP on one, because the monthlies wouldn't be too bad, especially if I got a second-hand one. But I just thought, nah. So I got, I've got like a personal loan kind of thing for this bike, and it feels a lot better. And even the personal loan for this is cheaper than the PCP was for my Harley, and the insurance isn't so much cheaper. So so far it's just okay. It's just been kind of a win. Oh, and you should have seen the guy's face when I bought. Like, there was someone who came to look at this bike at the same time as me, but I had booked an appointment for first thing. I wanted to see it first. So I got there first, and I looked at it, and it was immaculate. I'll put a picture or two up on the screen. And the person who wanted to buy it was pissed off. Right, I need to. Okay, so I just did this little event with Barnstormer Maidenhead, little barbecue. Oh, it was really good. Saw Sean, Undead Viking Warrior, super nice guy. That guy's a fucking legend. Now I'm riding to I think Chopper's Cafe or something like that. Oh my god, I need my gloves. Chopper's Cafe or something like that, for another meet. It's a bit of a way, 53 minutes, that's not bad. On a bike like this, it'll feel like 15 minutes. Especially now that I have music. Battery is nearly full. Yeah, so carrying on about how much I like the bike, there's nothing that I don't like. Sean was teasing me. He said if I had spoken to them, they probably could have got me a 1250 for the same price. I was like, no way. I only paid $7.5 grand for this bike. But I'm happy. I think I like starting with this bike. It's not very expensive, and I know I can upgrade. But I don't think even upgrading, I think this thing will just, once I've paid it off, unless I can really afford like a really big, unless I can go to the 1300, I don't see myself going to the 1250. Just because it's so similar, especially styling wise, like the 1300 Adventure or something. But this bike is so nice, I can't even imagine changing. I'll turn my music off until we get out of here. But yeah, like I said, I'm so pleased. Riding this bike makes me not regret like moving away from Harley Davidson. I love Harley Davidson, I still do, but for me, owning them in England is just such a bitch because of the salt on the roads and all the stuff like that. It's not fun to. What's the fucking speed limit? At 40 now. It's not fun. It's stressful to own, and they're so expensive. I mean, my lowrider S was 14 grand when I bought it, and that was a good price. So it's so expensive. And yes, I could get an older Harley Davidson, yeah, but then I'm not solving my problem of having a fun bike to ride all the time, that I can ride the whole day, unless I go buy a big touring bike, which again I would love, but it's still not like this, where this is just bliss. Because when I pay this bike off, for example, at the end of this year, when I pay this bike off, oh no, sorry, it won't be this year paying the bike off, but I'm gonna buy a dirt bike at the end of the year with hopefully cash, and that'll be my fun off-road bike. And then hopefully by the end of next year, this bike will be paid off, and then I'll buy a sport bike, and that'll be my fun road bike. Or I'll buy the another Harley Davidson, because it'll be like, okay, I've got a bike that I can ride all year round, and now I want a bike that I can ride, and then I can have my summer bike. So having a summer bike's won't be like a burden too much, because I can just ride it in the summer. Now this is, this is all, you know, I've got to make enough money to do all of that stuff. I do plan on doing that. I've just got a second job at the Iron Bull Roadhouse as one of the front of house staff, because I'm there so much anyway. it wouldn't be very hard, as in like it wouldn't be very taxing on me working there because I'm so friendly and familiar with everybody. It would just be kind of like, I think it'd be pretty chill. Obviously it's going to be hard work. I'll put effort in and I'll make sure I do a good job. But it's not going to be like working at a regular pub. And I know how difficult, how taxing working at a regular pub could be because I've done it before. I don't particularly want to do it again. So I think working at the Iron Bull is going to work quite well for me. So I think, yeah, I've got this bike just allows me to also then figure out what kind of riding I like to do, because I don't know, maybe I start enjoying riding spiritedly and I want a more spiritedly riding bike, and I can just make sure that's the next bike I get. Or it'll be like, I just like the GS so much, this bike is so much more capable than I am. Like, I won't be able to use all this bike's capability on the road especially.